Right, for more, we're joined now by Frances Harrison in London. She's a journalist as well as an author of a book on Sri Lanka's civil war called Still Counting the Dead. Frances, welcome to the program. Great to have you on. Now, you spent a lot of time documenting war survivors, and the UN says 40,000 people may have died. Do you think the perpetrators will be brought to justice?
Well, I'd like to see at least some of them brought to justice, those in command responsibility for the crimes that happened in 2009. But it has to be said it's highly unlikely at the moment. The new government, although it's made commitments in Geneva to bring accountability and to try and delve into the past in Sri Lanka, has done very little on that front so far. And although the president has announced a constitutional reform process, that's very much a political devolution process, which is extremely difficult to push forward in a country as divided as Sri Lanka. But that won't really tackle the past. And when I say the past, it's not really just that these crimes have taken place in 2008 and 2009 and the decades before. It's also that they're continuing to occur because there are serious problems within the Sri Lankan security forces.
Let's talk about this new process. How is the new constitution going to help in any way in the reconciliation process?
Well, it's a step, and it's important in itself that there is a political process and that Tamils do have more autonomy and more self-rule in the areas where they've been traditionally. But it's possible that this devolution package won't even give those areas control over land and police meaning policing security. There are vast numbers of soldiers still positioned, still stationed in the former conflict areas, and that's a huge issue to try and descale the army and move them out of those areas. And then if they don't have control over land, there are large portions of land that are being controlled by the military where people are now homeless because their land is being taken. So these are very key, crucial things. But I think beyond the political solution, which may come from this process, there are serious issues of delving into the truth, of accountability. The government has promised to set up a truth commission and also a special court to deal with what comes out of the Truth Commission. But at the moment, witness protection just is really at a point of zero. It's impossible for people who are former rebels or serious victims of war crimes to come forward and testify safely, even in London, let alone in Sri Lanka itself.
Frances, what I'm wondering is, has anything changed? Because many who were in the previous government are now in this present one. So is this a same government with a new face?
Well, I think some Tamil critics would say that, but clearly there are different figures in this government. Yes, the president was the acting defence minister during the final phase of the very bloody civil war in 2009, and he has a whole diverse range of people in his coalition. But there are others, like the foreign minister, who do, show that they seem to be committed to some kind of process. But whether these people really accept the extent of the mass atrocities that took place, particularly in the final phase of the war in 2009, and what's been going on since in terms of torture and sexual abuse by the military and the police, I am not sure that they really understand the full extent of what the UN has called system crimes. So this very organized, systematic, widespread abuse of the Tamil minority predominantly and those who've supported them.
All right, author and journalist Frances Harrison, thank you for that.